We have some breaking news for the Giants. It appears that the G-Men are going with Jaxson Dart week 4 versus the Chargers. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments. I want to know if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea. Now, Jordan Radin on his podcast, he does a tremendous job, by the way. I love his work. He mentioned on his podcast that he felt it was just a matter of time when the Giants were going to name Jaxson Dart their starting quarterback. And they did it. According to Adam Schefter, Jaxson Dart will be starting versus the Chargers in week 4. Now, obviously you have the Chargers, which is going to be a tough matchup. Then after that, you have the Saints. I was kind of thinking that that's when they would make the move, not versus the Chargers, but this is what I think. This is why I think the Giants are making the move now rather than later. You have to see what you have in Jaxson Dart. You have to see what you have. And if you were eventually going to bench Russell Wilson in favor of Dart, now's the time to do it, because now you have time to potentially trade for him and get some value back for Russell Wilson. You still have Jameis Winston as your backup quarterback behind Dart if you were to move on from Russell Wilson. So it just gives the Giants time to move on from Russ and maybe get some value back. The Bengals need a quarterback, right? So maybe he could go over there. And so it gives them time. But also, too, now it gives the Giants an opportunity to see what they have in Jaxson Dart. And listen, it's going to be tough because right after the Chargers, right, you got the Eagles 2 of the next 3 weeks. After the Saints, rather. You have the Eagles 2 of the next 3 weeks after that, after the Saints game. Eagles, Broncos, Eagles. It's going to be a tough one for him. Then yet you have the Niners on that schedule and the Bears on that schedule. It's going to be hard for Jaxson Dart. But I don't blame the Giants for wanting to do this, because you have to see what you have now. You have to see. And then if you end up with a top 3 pick and he's not very good, well, do you know what? Now you know what you have. And by that point, you would know if he's the future or if he's not the future. I hope it's the former. I hope he is the future, for sure. But Dable and Joe Shane are also trying to save their jobs. The Giants started out 0-3. Looked horrible against the Chiefs. Sloppy play. Russell Wilson looked bad. Looked terrible. After a career, you could say, performance versus the Cowboys, looked horrible against the Chiefs. That in the red zone in the fourth quarter towards the end there was absolutely dreadful. He didn't even take a shot at the end zone. He just threw the ball away the entire time. Horrific. Now the Giants think, hey, they heard we want Dart from the fans. Mara heard that. Of course they're going to want to go Dart. So I just didn't think they were going to do it so soon. But as I said, Dable and Shane are trying to save their jobs. So, hey, maybe the kid that we drafted in the first round, who we traded up to get, maybe he could save it. And then you could also potentially trade Russell Wilson away, because, listen, I don't think Russ is going to stay here. I think the Giants are going to move him. And they could maybe get a little something. I'm not saying something substantial, but they could get maybe a late round draft pick for him. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I really don't. But listen, I want to know what you guys have to say down in the comments. The Giants are starting Jaxson Dart versus the Chargers. Breaking news. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.